Hi, family time. Yes, the family series continues in the 1/72nd scale, and this one, number 4 in the build, is the de Havilland DHC, the Caribou. Now, this is a brilliant piece of work, a big workhorse for the Australian Air Force. So, putting it together, I looked at it and thought, yeah, that's going to be a beauty. And when I look at it, I thought it needs more. It deserves more. So let's show you what I thought it deserved. So let's get into it. Welcome to the next big adventure. 72nd scale again, and it is the de Havilland Caribou, the transport plane. Royal Australian Air Force used it. This is a Vietnam edition, which is good, shows its age. We'll be doing it in the Australian version, so and that. She's a pretty basic model. I've just pulled this out of the box to show you. Plus, it's fairly old, but it doesn't join up too well together in the aspects of life. Bottom's not too bad, pulls together, but the top really needs. You're going to need to pull across to get this up. But that's not what it's about, and the fact that as you look at the bottom, it's just a shell, and they give you all these windows, which is cool because it came with those, and then those are buttoned up because of all the integral stuff that goes inside. But it's such a beautiful aircraft, and having done the Chinook, which is same sort of thing except the helicopter version of it, I suppose you'd say, my thought was, you can see the cockpit, that's alright, the thought was to open this section here, which is this flap, this double piece here, folds in and becomes the ceiling, so to speak. It'll fold up along this line here, and then this piece here is the actual tail that drops down and flips out. I'll give it an example here. That goes from that position to that position, to which people then and cargo gets loaded in the back. Mainly a people transport, but did cargo shots as well. So what I'm going to do is cut these one piece out, but there's actually two pieces, and put him in the folded in position and put this in the folded down position. And then I'm going to, as you can see, there's nothing. There's the section here for the pilot cockpit area to sit in, and that's going to be very minute, and that's it. So I want to put a whole box, if you will, a whole tube inside here, so that you can look up the tail and give it a little bit of detail, but give it a bit of strength in the fact that this is what this thing was capable of doing. Short takeoff landing aircraft too, which is very unique. Did have an issue of breaking wheels because of the rough terrain that it landed on a lot. So that's it. So apart from that bit, the rest of it's really, I think it's a Chinese or Korean thing, but what is it? Are they made by? Oh yeah, from Korea. Plastic Model Idea, Plastic Model Company, Korea, 1997. This was made. So again, the landing gear component's pretty ordinary. We'll detail that up a little bit probably. And there's the sum of all the parts. American livery, Royal Australian Air Force livery. Don't think I can do too much with the engine. At least it's got decals for the boo, and just things. So this is all it, as I said before, is that all those pieces here just went straight in, covered it up, and made it look like there was stuff inside. So that's the biggest part of this whole one to do. So follow the basic instructions, but again, make it up as you go along. And there's another American version with the 3 patterns, 3 different colours of brown, greens and greens. I think the Australian version was mainly just green, so we'll do that. So onto it is, as I said, doesn't show Australian one? No. There's my research of what it will look like, something like that. You've got seats on the sides, the ceiling in the packing, and the wall that takes you up into the cockpit. So that's what I'm going to do. So what does that look like? Yeah, looking up that way. So yep, so I've started cutting these pieces here, and now I'm going to cut right along that seam and repeat the same on the other, and then use some plastic card to make it all the way around. And I have just watched a gentleman, an Australian bloke, do some shows that I enjoy watching. He's back on, and he's just made these sorts of things for the big helicopter that he's doing. So principle same. So this one he's got they're all up. So yeah, round tubing, pretty basic. It's putting all this stuff in will make a difference, but I think folded pieces of aluminium foil should probably do that and coat that up. And it's a good solid box, so I can make a good solid box, so I can make a floor and a roof, and the walls are almost there. Okay, let's do it. Well, I've made a back door for the boo, or the ramp zone, or whatever you want to call it. But there we go. Anyway, there we have it. A back door for a Caribou. So we've got the pieces out, sort of temporarily joining together, and yep, that will resize that and image it, but that'll fit sort of like that. And this one fits in down about that sort of position, so good. And now all I got to do is work out the dimensions for the insides. The floor, where it sits and how far apart that's going to be. That'll be a trial by error. And the ceiling, yeah, got to put the ceiling in because it shows this structure here. So the ceiling is going to have to run probably along that line there from the back of the cockpit. Now, probably need to put that panel in so that I can work the distance. And that, but yeah, we'll just use a piece of flat card, and that'll work. So card sides, we can work off what's there. Well, I might even put walls in anyway. So how to make life difficult for a simple basic plane, but it was just too basic to ignore that. So next part out will be this door here. It'll fold out so that you can see through. I won't do the other side door because you only need one door to get in, and that's the side we're getting in. So that'll work. Done. Alright, move on. I've measurements. We've knocked the door out, which will be cool, and that's the side to talk about. I've ribbed in some lines here which will be needed when the just for the show of that piece being up. And we'll use the actual piece, that'll be even better. When that piece is up in the air like this, it will show that. Now I can do all of them or just leave it a go, but I'm going to do all of them. The door out, floor lines marked in. Had a look at the back section to the cockpit, which goes in there, and that doesn't even have the door part cut out, so that's how wrong that is. And so yeah, because you can't see into there, but yeah, so that needs a section cut out of it. I also need to run an extension down then to this floor that I'm going to have at about that line. So another piece cut similar allows for the door shape, comes down, and I'll probably have to do a step or something in there, or a ladder. But that's cool. That's possible, and everything's possible. But yeah, picking up on it before you start makes it a hell of a lot easier than whatever. So what I'm going to do is run some ribs in here, a plate along here, a larger piece for the piston, for that's supposed to be there to help the back door go up and down, and then have to measure set distances, because that's got even though it's fairly straight, it's got a curve in it somewhat as it gets up to there. So I'll run a piece there and then replicate a piece across the top, which I haven't measured in, which will come in just behind the cockpit wall. I'm probably using these round circles as a marker, but also as a line. I have to check how far that wing protrudes in there too, which was going to stuff up my plans a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking at a line somewhere about there, or even I might even go lower, so it's on that. Yeah, measure distance there to there, there to there. But probably point of view would probably be lower, which will then get me below this section here. So bear with me. We put some pieces of strip in there, which are like that, and even that one there, I think, and then I can false the door in. So we're winning in our thoughts. Okay, we've done a little bit of groundwork, as I said, putting those ribs in. Now I've got all the side ones in. Need to put the roofing tile ones in, so the door open, all those ribs in. Subframe there for the roof part, and the wall section, that's a main beam, so that's got to go in. And yeah, it's got to have the little roof ribs as well, and a main spar line running up through there as a jointer, so that'll hide all sins. But yep, that's where we're up to. Alright, the last little exercise has been doing wonderful. No, I haven't put the body back together as yet, but we're getting close. And yeah, I'm going to have to, when I do it, I realise I'm going to have to do a little bit here, let that really set before I pressure it again, because this thing is fairly twisted, I think is what I've made a point of. You have a look how it's blowing apart here, it's like there's a bow. But that's good. As I said, door's open, so we got that done. And I'm going to undo this now. But the work we've worked on, and they can all come off. What I've been working on is the aircraft structure inside. Seeing now that's going to be visible. and if it's going to be visible, it's got to look sort of like it. Start up here. Alright, and in doing so, I've come up with this. Now, inside structure, which you'll be finished, because everything forward of there is covered in sort of soundproofing material, that sort of thing, which I think I'll be doing in aluminium foil and then painting it. So that's the next part. So that's that part. So I did all that, and when we put this in here, it will sit up about there like that, or even higher. So in doing that, they had to have the ram on both sides there, which actually pulls the tail up. So that goes there, which is cool. And then I'll got to put the other one, but this rail here, being a top rail to or a stay run thing for the I'll call it the soundproofing, for a better term. Let me wait for the helicopter to finish playing over the top of me. Finish playing with helicopters, I don't need to anymore. Yeah, so to which then, as you can see, I've marked out where the next run would be, and then there's the centre run, and then the same on the other side for each piece of the aluminium foil to go on, the soundproofing. This gets covered with, well, you've got the glass windows to go in, you've got the decal to go over that to show that there's string seats that goes in there, and then blacked out so that you can't see anymore. So I think I'll go with that as a covering, because in front of that the alfoil will go over the top of that, so when you look inside you'll get that impression that you're looking at it, which is alright, and which it beats me trying to do alfoil around each of the windows. But I still I won't have to do the windows there. So that's that part. So cockpit comes in fairly standard, did that. In the actual cockpit you have an entrance to get how you get into there. If you come through the side back door up there, that's, you got that. So this is for the seats here. I've got to put the instrument panel in cockpit, so I need a set of stairs to go here, steps or some sort of thing which goes down there, which is good. This area here I've got to yet put a it doesn't show the access area, but the front wheel comes in here into this bay here, so that's that out, and that was not an area, so I've got to put a panel across probably about where the wheel, the thing is, just for the just coloured out so you can't see in, and the stairs go down here and that. And the biggest thing was being able to manufacture a floor system, and to make sure that I had it right, I should have cut that one off. In fact, I probably will. Yeah, I was going to get covered up with seats anyway, so that. But the floor I've put in is fairly straight. I've put them together and slid this in and put it in, and it fits in underneath the extendable pieces here I've put in for the back of the cockpit, and I've got to detail that up a little bit there because there's boxes and seating and stuff like that, just to make it look thing. So that's right, and that's where I get this whole problem here where the stairs go in, so we'll fix that. But that fitted in and slipped in nicely after I joined the two halves together, so took the opportunity to use wonders of wonder. You can glue through the windows and get that right, so that was a brilliant thing. So while it was sitting there, this has been touched into place. I've got to give it a final coat, but yeah, so that's sitting where it should, and I've got to do this side because I didn't do it, but yeah, so good. Next thing really is a little bit more. Glue that down. Don't think I need to do any more spar runners. Need to check on the back door and tidy that up and square it away for position here. It also has some panels that go up the side, so I might have to cull this back a little bit to fit into there so that I've got movement. Maybe some little support slots there, but I don't think so. Might put it here at the back, because where this thing connects, it's going to need something to connect to when I put it in and fit it. Especially, see, it comes down and has a triangle side on the side here, which allows it to go up and down. So that's good. That's good. That's good. And that's it. And the door, which goes on here, which sits around, when I put it on, will come here, door, and will fit like yay. I'll put some little pieces there to make out the door hinges, and it too gets soundproofing on the side there, and that'll be a last minute effort to put that into place. So that'll go that way. So I might, in the next minute, is put some, I'm not ready to put that together yet. I'm going to spray it all, give it a primer coat at least. I figure I might put some wings and other facets together. Now that that clips together quite well, you can see inside that you're looking right down on the pilot, so they got a fairly good view there. And that's it. So when the thing goes together, you can see up there's quite nice, quite good. Looks more so the part than it did before. So, right, I'm going to grab some instruction sheet. That'll be good. First up, know what I'm doing. There we go. All the way around the wing. And pop that one, and pop that one. And then we've done that one. And that's it. Now, how to flip it together in one easy lesson. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought. Was it a 1.5mm drill? No, 0.5mm, 0.6mm drill through the hole there and carved it out. Now I have an air intake vent going through to the manifold or whatever it does. So, yeah, smart. It's only a small thing, but it's a big improvement. And all these little things sort of probably do add up in the long term. So, done. Now I think I might do some painting. Engines. Should be a black, flat black on that. So, yeah, back to the job at hand without the distraction. Okay, let's talk about possibilities here. Given the final coat of grey in there, I won't put any of this in because I've got to pack it off for the full pit, but that'll be an easy placement. Now, internally, I got those go in there like so. Boom, fit down. On the display they tell you to do that decal on there so that when you look from the outside, let's turn it around, when you look from the outside you see that sort of strapping, which is alright, and then so you can't see through the decal because it's transparent. You put that decal over the top of the other decal, which blacks it out. Okay, so that's easy done. Part of that, and that'll fix that nicely. Gotcha. So, next process after that, which is pulls into a whole stack of line of thought, is over the top of this, the shows is hanging seats, which run off the, let's get the big finger out of here, which run off this main spar here that I put in previous. So they hang down, and that's why you see the strapping. That's because it's part of the whole process. Okay, hang the seats on it, yes, but on the problem is the roof of the unit here has noise cancelling material. Looks like the stuff they do, removalist blankets and that sort of stuff. So two things a trainer thought to do is, one, repeat what I've done here in a curved motion, because it will go from this beam to the roof, and there's two sections before you get to middle, and two sections when you come back down the other side. So two runs of this material looking stuff. And it should go down to the windows actually too, so there's another 2 runs. So 1, 2, 3, 6 runs of this material look that I've got to put in here. Now, as I said, the idea may be to cut some plastic and segment it so that I can slide it in like I did with this one. So I can slide it in, ensure it's in the right spot just by doing some measurements and sliding it up, having the material look on it, or just glue the material to these particular points on this side and do it on the other side, and then when I join the two together there will be the seam through the middle, which is there anyway. So to make it easy for myself, I'll have this one already packed out on the center line and the other one packed out center line, merge the two, and I have a roof. So in two trains of thought, but because the other point I just sort of pick up on there is the other point that this, oh, that fits. It feels a little twisted, the body, but that's come together fairly well. Maybe it's just because it's out of shell. So yeah, you can fit that in there. Still playing with those two trains of thought. Now, the material, tin foil, real easy. I can rub it, I can ring it, and it's paintable, so it's neat. And I've got enough here to do about 4 attempts. So, thought was for material look is to use that. I'll use a piece that I'm not probably going to use. Stick that on there, and I'll rub my finger on there. I'll zoom in on the shot. As I rub my finger in there, I get a dimply materially effect, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I was thinking of a RAAF, but that'll do too many bigger holes. But I think that's probably best. Yeah, so that, cut it into strips, stick it on the inside, and paint it, and that'll define the material look. So good old file. So that's where we're going. So as I said, I'm going to trial just laying the material in there first after I've done the windows and the decals. I'll trial doing the material in, it'll be a full piece but marked into strips, and put that in. Or if that fails or doesn't look any good, the backup is the harder version of making an actual roof in plastic. So there we're doing. Update, that's all been undercoated now. Flap controls are on. Engines built and coloured. They just probably need a little bit of a wash on them, and they're cool. And that's the plane itself was very, 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 very basic. Slap two halves together, put some wings on it, throw some wheels underneath it, and that was it. I decided to make it harder for myself, but because of the look, you know, it looks much better. So I'll show you the result when I've gone with which one I've gone with, because putting the two halves together now is dependent on getting this stuff in. So that's what we're doing.